Note to self, when... hello everyone on YouTube. Apologies for the mistake. I completely messed up on how this is supposed to be set up. So you kind of started in the middle of the content. Apologies there. I first time using this pre-recorded and all that, so well, not pre-recorded, first time setting this up properly with a pre-scheduled and all that, so it caused a bit of kerfuffle as I messed up here and there. Anyway, let's continue. The very venerable Hierarch has not received that data prior to the meeting. You must be aware of the chaos that followed the ascension, and we are still indexing all the available materials to... Isn't that funny? Not once in the history of Hongyang has the family Hierarch ever failed to provide the immediate and detailed answers regarding Hongyang's historical statistics. Because everyone prior had the worm. Oh, also? That's me. Everyone had the worm. Jia Shichun must have known all along too. Jian Yunchun. He must have known how the previous family hierarchs were all directly supplied with an immense repository of information from the Jiahuang worm, or something of the equivalent. And she's using it to target Shichun's weakness, knowingly asking questions she, the first hierarch without the Anan worm. Hello Scott Harabra, sorry for my late start over there. I kind of messed up with YouTube scheduling. Also, how do you like my new style? I like my style. I said I messed up with my scheduling here. I usually just simulcast directly, but this is the first time I ever basically pre-scheduled something on YouTube, so that kind of caused a bit of a hiccup, as I was not aware that I had to physically go live with it. Well, what can you do? Just gotta deal with it. Yes, and she's using it to target Shichun's weakness, knowingly asking questions she, the first family hierarch without the Anan worm, couldn't possibly answer. The responsibilities tied to the venerable seat of the hierarch, Jia Mu, are matched only by the great power bestowed upon it. Thus, how are we to leave the matters of the wing to someone who is, so evidently, unprepared for the task? Given the present circumstances... Wow, this woman, I just want to punch her. Our hands must be forced to call to the vote the motion of no confidence. Oh, thanks. Thanks, I got a new follower. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Oh, whoa, it's a raid. My mistake. Thanks for the raid, Archer. You are such a good friend. And anyone who's joining us, this is Limbus Company. We're specifically raiding our... It's not raiding, we're doing the Intervallo. Oh, and raising our Jia Shichun. The motion of no confidence? Maybe, maybe not. Honestly, anyone who shows up is good in my book. More watchers and all that. A motion of no confidence. When passed by the high-ranking political officials, can result in the removal of the chief executive from the office. Yo, Archer. Welcome, welcome. Yep, new model. Artist finished it, yes. Finished it literally earlier today. So now you have my adorable Jubicle. So they're going after Shichun's power. So this is the picture Jia Shichun wanted it to paint. Jia Yuan-chun wanted to paint. Impotent family hierarch stammering and stumbling through her first meeting to the total and near unanimous lack of support from H-Corp's board of directors. Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, no problem. I know not wanting to spoil. Although, I might do some gacha rolls. In fact, I probably will do some basic gacha rolls once we're done this section. So just hold out for that. Although I would suggest just, muting and just waiting for me to show you the gacha rolls. Whatever jargon they're on about, seems to me they've got not an ounce of respect for the lass or us. What do you expect? They're rich. Never trust twats obsessed with numbers and optimization. They'll be the first ones to kick you out the moment they no longer see you as useful. Let me get... You're not the only one who's pissed off, so can you please stop shaking your leg for a second? Don't need to make our frustrations any more obvious, My arse would have left the chair long ago if it weren't for this lass. 1 second, just going to clear my throat. Yeah, downside of streaming after work, your throat gets a bit dry. In H-Corp, should the board of directors unanimously vote in favor of the motion, certain parts of the family hierarch's powers will be removed. It is entirely possible that she will become hierarch in name only. Oh, so they're threatening to fire her unless she falls in line. This is some needless, convoluted way to... The Assembly will now consider the motion of no confidence. Are there any objections to bring the motion of no confidence against family hierarch Jia Shichun to the floor? Hold on. The vote of no confidence isn't an item you can invoke so lightly. The Shi family has no objections, because you're someone who failed to get this hierarch seat. Let's say the Wang family has no objections either. And I actually like you. Zhu family too. Not surprised, but I'm disappointed. The rest of the previous family heads seem to have changed precisely nothing. Those in power were more youthful faces, but their tongues still carried the same old resistance to change. Yep, it's just an endless cycle of a worm eating a worm. The new family heads were just as uncooperative as ever. And everyone seemed to be solely interested in staying on Jia Yunshan's good graces. New faces, same old. And needless to say, Heathcliff wasn't the only sinner fuming with rage. Yeah, we shipped these two together for a reason. 'Tis far too vexing to simply watch and do naught. Right, I knew you wouldn't let this slide, Don Quixote. They're walking all over Chichun like she's not even here. Beat the new boss, same as the old boss. Although more of a case of, here's the new boss, let's cripple them so we can continue doing everything we did before. Forsooth, we cannot let such injustice transpire unabated. Hey, seems like we're both on the same page. That's it. I'm not going to hesitate to make myself heard again. This time, I want to be courageous. With your help, Don Quixote. No, you can't do that right now. Come on, let's do this together, okay? Very well. I am in agreement. Yeah, let's go out on 3 at the same time. If there are no objections, 1, 2, the Assembly will put this resolution to vote in a month. And okay, 1 second. Gotta ban a... Ban, and let's see, where's that button? Ban and report. I swear these bot harassers, they are so annoying. Report bots, advertise bots, and report. Thank you for submitting the report, and yeah. I absolutely just hate botters just offering you bots trying to get you to break the rules. Anyway, we'll put this resolution to vote in a month, and 3. Hey, objection! Bloody hell, oi! Hey, have you gone mental? Sinclair stood tall at the center of the entire room's undivided astonishment. Alone. Don? Eh? Don Quixote, still firmly in her seat, gazed upon Sinclair's proud stand and rubbed her nose. Wait, no, I have to get this right. Sniff. Young Sinclair hast evolved indeed. What an unmitigated pursuer of justice, as thou hast become, with such unrelenting fervor and utter disregard for decorum. Sniff. Oh, I am so proud of you. Oh. Certainly, mine efforts have finally borne fruit. Well, what the hell? Did Don Quixote or Heathcliff suddenly rub off on you or something? No way, no! What happened there, Don Quixote? What happened to objecting together? Oh? I had taken thy suggestion to mean that we must voice our dissatisfaction through the official channels, borrowing the titles of the illustrious Red Gaze and the Department of LCC. So basically, Don thought, yeah, we don't have any power here, so we probably should use Virgilius and our entire company's influence, a bit meager as it is. Despite it, disputes and succession of power on such a high level of government are hardly ever resolved with rash grandstanding. Wouldst thou not agree? Again, Dawn's being smart. Remember, she has her memories back. She actually went through this. She probably had some experience. Why are you normal all of a sudden? Why are you normal? Lad, what just happened? What happened to the clammy, meek boy? Well, I guess I just assumed that this is how Limbus Company rolls now. Well, it is, sort of, but this is complicated. There seems to have been an unexpected outburst from Shichun's guest. Withdraw your objection, and we will consider this a momentary loss of control, and not enter in as an official statement. No. I disagree. This is so official. Sinclair's eyes were shaking like someone with his life on the line. Shichun, take advantage of the situation. If not, I take it that you have full confidence in her abilities. So please, I encourage you to elaborate. When and how will Shichun demonstrate her aptitude for the responsibility of the family hierarch? His voice continues to shrivel into a corner. He can't, and how could anyone? How could anyone, when we all had a clear view of her path to ascension? During the family hierarch evaluation, Jia Baiyo donated the coins he received from Jiaqu to you. Essentially, you pity-partied your way to victory. Pity-partied? No, she won because she didn't give up. She stuck with it. The rest of you gave up. You dropped out. She stayed in it. And for your ascension, Jiaqu and those outsiders from an upstart company had to, almost literally, carry you to the seat. Has there ever been a single victory attained by your own hands in that entire process? Well, she presented the water. Oh, but have we not all been witnesses to the qualities she exhibited during the family hierarch evaluation and her own ascension? You must have no shame, snaking your forked tongue in the audience of both heaven and earth like an unwilling buffoon. People, I think this is the goat. I think the goat has arrived. I think this is the goat. That's when quiet, even footsteps broke through Jia Yunchun's merciless dismantling of Jia Shichun. Yes, it is him. Yet I see the point. Oh, Zigong. The hierarch, with her grace, needs only demonstrate her already established qualifications before all. Oh, Zigong. This is no place for an outsider to speak, but proceed. Just how will she prove herself before us? What an odd statement, coming from a fellow outsider who's been chatting for minutes on end. Forgive me, I could only presume from your verbosity that the right to speak in this forum was open to all outsiders. Oh, Zigong, I like you. You have said it yourself, no? That the vote on the no confidence resolution will proceed in a month. That seems to give the venerable hierarch a month to regain the trust of each family. What? It is rather clear to me that there are many who find their own defeat in the family hierarch war difficult to accept. Such doubt is easily resolved. A match between clans should lay out the results quite obviously. Good. Very well. A fair challenge between clans, which would preclude the participation of the family hierarchs, He Xiao Pax, and the Jianlan guards. Yeah, but she has us. So you would remove her Pao and Ju before the games even begin. Why not make this test a series of sparring matches in both academia and martial arts, if such is the case? What audacity. Do you truly have that much faith in Jia Shichun's abilities? I do. You must know the consequences of failing these matches, no? It must be a unanimous, one-sided end to the vote of no confidence. And naturally, any and all rights appertaining to the family hierarch shall be transferred to the board of directors. That is fine by us. You are free to choose any champions who you see fit. Unfortunately, your underlings don't seem to share your inflated confidence. But in the midst of the confusion, flabbergasted silence from the other sinners, a clear, carefree, yet defiant voice rings out. Hong Lu's retort. The kindness. That's not true at all, big sis Yuan Chun. We actually have just as much confidence in Shi Chun as she does. His wide-eyed eyes stare directly and unblinking at Jia Yun Chun. It occurred to me that this might be his way of expressing anger. Oh yeah, he is pissed. There's a reason I'm going to break out that bad end ID. Answer me, He Xiao Pax. Impudent child. How dare he stare me down like that? Oh, he does more than that. You want to join the rest of the of those old bastards in the lake, woman, then you are welcome to try. 1 month. You have but 1 month to prove before all in audience that she is, indeed, fit to be the family hierarch. Second, should you fail, the vote may as well be a mere formality. Sure, should we fail. But the thing is, Yuan Shun, we at Limbus Company, we're crazy. We're kind of nuts, and the impossible is our bread and butter. We have the best collection of murder hobos, psychopaths, and weirdos on the block. Plus, you know, Faustus is super smart, Don Quixote has a lot of stuff, experience, Otis is military strategy, Heathcliff has street smarts, and Sinclair, we'll just throw him in the classmate as well. In other words, should she successfully prove herself, none of you shall again rightfully challenge the independent rights and powers bestowed upon the family hierarch. The consequences of such recalcitrance would be no different from those that the traitors are facing. Wouldn't you agree? Zigong, you have rapidly risen in the ranks of people I like. Well then, we will excuse ourselves now. Hoi hoi! Yep, got a new model of Viridian. Yeah, it's very, very Xiangji coded. And yes, this is my beloved Jubico. If you pop over to this is my beloved Jubico. She's an OC character I made for a quest I took part in over on the forum, and well, one thing led to another. If I had to give her lore, she's a office member of a very chaotic fixer office called Riot Office. She's in-universe a streamer and a ninja. She also loves her traps. Traps are her bread and butter. Wait, I'm... Zigong turns around towards us with that same mysterious smile, and slowly he directs us outside the assembly hall. We call them sparring matches, but you must know that each and every one of them is a test to prove your claim to the seat of the family hierarch. A month is a time far too brief for drastic improvement. Yeah, but we have a lot of ways to do that, regardless of for whom it may be. Learning from a proper master for 10 months straight might teach you a few things, but I think, we have Scarabra over on YouTube, who, unfortunately, I can't show the chat on YouTube on Twitch because Twitch's policy is technically against the rules, if I remember correctly. And he's one of the players in that quest. So anyway, where were you? Where were we? But who knows how long the search for one such master might take? Not to mention the official channels through which you must bring them past Dongyang's walls, which may take up to 2 months. Why not relent now, and relinquish but a part of your powers as the family hierarch to the board of directors? Wait, did I miss something? Let's see. Yeah, well, thankfully you have us. It seems that this fellow outsider's mental faculties are impressively lacking. Oh, that's a burn. Nice, love it. My lord has spoken in the past that, when in the presence of 3 people, at least one of them is bound to be a teacher of mine. And we have a collection of psychopaths, weirdos, and the more. And here they are, aren't they? Jia Shichun's master, each carrying something new to teach her. All 13 of them. Yep. Zigong gestures confidently before the flabbergast sinners, and the assembly came to an end. Yep, flabbergast sinners, but here's the thing. not if we do want to truly cheat here, we have mirror technology. Mirror technology allows us to get all the experts we need. Now, since, let me see here, I think I have a fair few people here in chat. Yeah, I have a fair few people. And Archer's here as well. Also, let's go and have some fun here. No, not dispense. So, I have a few tickets remaining. As you can see, I have a lot of lunacy, not touching that, saving that for my prologue. And so we're going to just do a few ticket rolls and see if we get lucky. So, what is my chance? Oh, here's one. Chi Chun, the horse is here. Okay, not okay. Light up. Yes! 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 Why do you play with my fragile heart? And yes, that's the thing. With mirror tech, we technically can get anything. So, let's do some singles pulls. Come on, Ume. Nothing. Ah, that's why I got bad luck. Welcome to the chat, Magscab. I see you're stealing my luck again. Yeah. And also, how do you like my new look? Adorable, aren't I? Yeah, you cursed me, Magscab. You cursed me, but let's try this again. I'm just going to use my tickets and get to... Okay, nothing. Nothing, and... Ume. Nothing. Now I'm reminded why I don't do single pulls. It is tedious. Ume. Banana. Yep, banana. Well, then, I hope my luck is better. I just want to get to a good set of 10. I dislike rolling less than 10 when I do these, unless I get really lucky and win. And then I think I'll do one... Okay, so we have this. Yeah. You can watch over on YouTube as well. Over there, you'll meet another watcher, a friend from the quest where this character comes from. Well, this is my OC, but she's from the quest. She's a fixer herself. I've gone enough that I can just do a few free. And wait! Manager Dawn! Okay, that's 2 fake outs on the wrong one. Magscab, you have cursed me, Magscab. And now we have a nice... Okay, so now that's a nice even 10. So with that, let's do... I'm going to throw one final amount. I have more than enough spared for this, so... Okay. Summoning chant. Let's see now. Horse. I know. No. My little pony, da 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 da. La la da 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 da. backstab. Why? I blame you for this. And I am not going to spend any more. I want to save. Well, that was bad luck, unfortunately. Oh well, let's continue. Yeah, hopefully for the upcoming collab. Still, I have more than enough to blow and get guarantees if I need to, but I hope it goes well. I don't play Arknights, but collab is collab. So, we were planning to train Jia Shichun anyway, but it seems that we are now under an unexpected deadline. Yeah, more collabs likely. Maybe we'll get a Fate collab at some point. That'll be fun. Just have them pull out the Noble Phantasms. Hey, when you said the LCB was going to help me out, did you guys mean that you were going to publicly humiliate the crap out of me at the assembly? Yeah, she's pissed. Of course not, Shichun. Big sis Yuan Chun's an old snake. You've just given her 30 days to set the perfect stage for my downfall. To prove to the world once and for all that I'm not qualified at all to be the family hierarch. But, Shichun, weren't you always so good at humbling anyone who dared underestimate you? And I would say they're underestimating you now. Not so much anymore. Back then, like an idiot, I thought I just had to hold on with everything I had. I thought that's all I ever had to do, but now... Now, things are different. It's true that I'm vastly underqualified to be the family hierarch, and she's right. I pretty much lucked into this position. Yes, but you aren't... Also, I see the ponytail slightly in the way of the chat. There. That's a bit better. That's a bit better. Anyway, as I was saying. But, at the same time, you're the best candidate. You are... what you lack in terms of sheer power, you make up for in heart. I have trust in you, Shichun. I trust that you will do a good job. Shichun, don't tell me that woman's bullshit actually got to you. Well, she wasn't completely wrong, right? Right? I'm just some kid who happened to be just good enough to survive some traps and ambushes. I'm afraid that the responsibility of a family hierarch might be too much. You got the water from that river. You got the dew of the water. That is difficult. That is hard to attain. Like, you got that just from information you got from Don's singular memory. And in such a short time, you are not underqualified. Her self-confidence has significantly decreased compared to the observation from our previous interaction. The heck, Shichun? I don't remember you being this kind of character. What happened to the girl who looked down on us the moment we met? You even had the audacity to pretend to not know who we were, don't ya? Where'd all that confidence go, girl? Come on, believe in yourself. Or at least believe in the us that believes in you, that believes in us, that believes in you. That's actually got under her skin back then, huh? So, Shichun, what do you want to do? Are you going to roll over and die? Or are you going to fight this with all your might? Are you sure you're okay with this? Are you okay with letting this happen? No, she isn't. Yeah, that happens. Mobile internet is really finicky, so it is understandable that maybe it doesn't work the way it should. But that's fine. If I let it happen, Big Sis Yunchun's going to continue expanding her influence here. I'm sure she and the board of directors have been cozying up to each other for a long time. I see her plan. Basically, she essentially puppets the entire thing, and now Q Corp basically controls H Corp. Is the implication that her testaments on your influence were true? Oh, her testaments on her influence were true. Yep, it's true. Before she left for Q Corp, Big Sis Yuan Shun used to always accompany Jia Mu to these assemblies. If we just let them hold the vote of no confidence, they're going to unanimously vote against me and slowly reduce the family hierarch's scope of power. And who knows, they might even call for a reevaluation, however unlikely that sounds. Yep, because, well, this gets them power. Are you going to gamble that you can get all the power, or just that you can have some of it? Who am I kidding? These greedy assholes would get all of the power if they could. Besides, Big Sis Yuan Chun, I think her definition of Pyongyan's prosperity might be different from mine. What she's looking for isn't H Corp's prosperity, it's Dong Huanyan's. And I know that this all has something to do with its ties to Q Corp, which I bet has already been going on for a while under my radar. I'm sure they've already had plenty of talks behind my back. Yep. Which is not the kind of vision you have for Hongyang's future, right? And that's why you spoke up against her. Because these people, they just want power. It's the difference between prosperity for the country, prosperity for the people, and prosperity for the royal household. My vision of Hongyang is, I want to change H Corp to be the kind of place where people can live without fear. And this is why you're the good choice. I just never imagined I'd have to prove myself like this, and in only 30 days. Even then, your vision hasn't changed, right? It hasn't. Great. So, it's decided then, huh? We just need Fao to deliver the bad news to Saud. So, to summarize, the responsibility of training Sichun to win these matches, I mean, these amorphous tests, which hinges the family hierarch's fate, and also every facet of which is entirely under Jia Yunchun's control, by the way, is probably a trap, within the next 30 days is ours. And we have to explain that to Saud. Wow. Oh, that sounds like a lot of work when you put it like that. Oh yes, it is a lot. Quite a bit of work. Thankfully, we have the Sinners and mirror technology. I cannot emphasize enough that mirror technology is probably going to save us here. Post-mortem reports have become quite rote. Sometime later, Saud's heart attack in 5, 4, 3, 2... Oh. Prithee, thou must impress upon the illustrious red gaze that 'twasn't mine idea this time. Sinclair stared blankly at Don Quixote as she made her desperate pleas towards Saud. Yes, and I understand that as well, for the 8th time. As always, Saud was wearing the same refreshingly incomprehensible smile, probably thinking, I forgot these guys are kinda nuts and weirdly competent but incompetent and get themselves in the worst situations. I should not have planned around things going smoothly. The kind of smile that makes people increasingly anxious the longer it lasts. Well, that gives us about 30 days. during which those sparring matches, tests, whatever, will be happening as well. Great! Then let's give it our best. Around here, we are swerving straight into comedy. Well, yes, this is a Hierarch racing project. Sinclair mutters in a near whisper, clearly feeling responsible for what happened. Yes, I understand. I never should have stepped out of line like that, but something just... Yeah, so let's give it our best. I totally agree. We messed everything up again, and what? Limbus Company was always going to remain here and assist Miss Jia Shichun's acclimatization herself to the responsibility of the family hierarch. It was always part of our plan. Huh. They actually planned for this. I'm genuinely surprised. Well, I sure am glad I took Faust's advice about how meticulous planning is completely pointless when it comes to LCB missions. I never would have had to submit 9 separate disciplinary action reports back during the J-Corp incident had I known. Yep, basically, they don't plan around us, just plan. You have to work with the stupid, not against it. I believe I should be able to explain this further. Prior to his departure, my lord was concerned that such a thing would come to pass. And that is why he has left Zilu and I here to look after the new family hierarch's position, which must still be on rather thin ice. Oh, so that's what they were privately talking about when he pulled them aside. Doing nothing and allowing her wicked machinations to progress would have irrevocably made the entire board of directors naught but putty in Yuan Chun's hands, and Kitty Cat, oh my adorable Kitty Cat is here. You can't see him, but he's currently standing on my mouse pad. Frodo, no, this is my mouse pad. And yes, Kong, the goat, the bro, the man. Kong is him. And that would have led that snake to be de facto assume the seat of the family hierarch. Against such an insidious foe who wields intrigue as her weapon, the most viable strategy is the most direct one, to challenge her head-on. Yep, pretty much. But if I was to play Juboko here, basically the best way to defeat a maze of complicated traps, a cannon. Just blow your way right through. Just shoot a massive cannon and smash through. Besides, has this not given you the excuse you needed to prolong your company's stay in Dongyan? This is also a prime opportunity for Jia Shichun to further solidify her influence here, depending on the outcome of the vote of no confidence. They have played right into our hands by accepting this deal. Ah, so they played into our hands, not the other way around. See, yeah, Chicken Sinclair. So, I don't want to rain on everyone's parade, but... Oh, hi. Hi. That's my follow alert. I have to make that bigger and move the location. I can hardly see it. Let me change it over here. Here, make it a bit bigger. That should be better for the next time. Hi, Charlotte Uchiha. Welcome to the chat. Yep. Welcome to the chat. Thank you for coming. Honestly, looking at my chat, my numbers here. Wow. This might be my first chat that gets over the average of 3, which is fantastic. And yes, pleasure to make your acquaintance. Or let me do this right. Cherry. Thank you for coming. And thank you for following. Trying to get to affiliate status, so this might be my first step on the road there. So, are we not even going to consider what might happen if we fail? Well, yeah, we might fail, or we might succeed. We just have to try our best, and and do the most insane stuff to do it. No, we are not. Because you will not fail, or not with us aiding your efforts. Also, were you serious back then when you said that we were all going to teach Jiaxi Chun, all 12 of us? I won't object to selecting only a few of us with better aptitude to be educators. Ah, by the way, we already have an established internal hierarchy based on the sum of each of our abilities. AKA the ranking from the regular checkup. Of course, the results weren't entirely to my satisfaction due to an unexpected incident. Otis, please Otis. Miss Otis, that is a statement mired in narrowed vision, rife with factual refractions. I am of the stance that the qualities of a good teacher are defined not by such statistics. Oh, this is Limbus Company. You can see it in the title. It's a fantastic gacha game, and by gacha game I mean one of the, in my honest opinion, most generous gacha games out there. They quite literally allow you to buy every character. Well, you can grind up every character. The battle pass gets you all the stuff you need. Like, I've played since launch, so I have a bit of a head start on everyone else. But, well, I've only ever bought the battle pass, and the battle pass lasts months, as in most of a year, and at the end it gives you a bunch of resources continuously, so it's a very good investment. I quite literally have almost everything, barring the newest stuff. So, also the story is just fantastic. Great writing. You would enjoy it. I highly recommend. I am of the stance... Oh yes, it is, and it gets delightfully dark. Are defined not by such statistics. So you must be the one who placed last in that scale. Yes, but because that scale was pure combat ability. In terms of intelligence, he is up there. Just don't say anything, bud. Best not to stand out like a sore thumb. You weren't even on the scale. I may have overreacted then. My lord has said that from the virtuous we may learn to replicate their merits. From the flawed we may learn to avoid their failings. As long as the student is willing to learn, anyone, anything can be a teacher. Yep, thank you. I'm also trying to reach affiliate, which this might actually be my first, one of my big steps on it, because I'm at 4, which means I can get above the average. Oh wait, did I skip something? I feel like I might have skipped something. Yeah. As long as the student is willing to learn, anything can be a teacher. I also, to embrace this teaching, seek from all those who we come across. I should also mention, Charlotte, that most of the time it's fully voiced. In Korean, but very good voice acting. The only reason this is silent is because this is like an intervallo, like an interlude. But they tend to add the voice acting with the reruns. Just what in the heavens are you trying to do? I am preparing a lesson plan for young Shi-chun, our family hierarch. Thanks. Send them my way if you wish. I would gladly see a lot of help. Thank you. My main thing is to get affiliate status personally. I want to get to the point where I can actually get some income from this. Reinvest it into assets, because even this model, which I got at a deal, was not cheap. Yeah, they're between cantos, and the cantos are where the big effort goes. Wow, you sure got on that fast. So, what are these yellow wormy things here? 'Tis a star. twinkly twinkling in its radiance. According to this schedule you have prepared, the student would have negative 3 hours available for sleep. This lesson plan execution will require cooperation from T-Corp. Yeah, I got a very good model from a person I found. Got me a pretty good deal. I basically got this bust up model with rigging for basically the price of a bit cheaper than a full body just art without the rigging. So it got me a good deal, decent art, good starting point, and in the future I plan to upgrade and get some better things. At the moment I consider this my 0.5 release. No, Don Quixote, as from Don Quixote. It's a complicated thing you'll understand when you play the game. A fun fact about all of our sinners here is that each and every one of them is based on a literary character. We have Mersault here from The Stranger, Rodion over there. She is from Crime and Punishment. Don Quixote is from Don Quixote. We have Otis, which, if you know Greek, that translates to nobody, aka Odysseus from the Odyssey. Oh, One Piece is fantastic. One Piece is fantastic, and I love it as well. I actually write a NSFW, but a little quest story thing on some websites. Viridian up there is actually one of the readers of that, if I remember correctly. Essie. This plan's execution required the cooperation from T-Corp. Yeah, it would be a mistake most fatal indeed. I shall correct it post-haste. I would love to link it, but I'm pretty sure linking to NSFW content is against the rules here. So, here's what I'd suggest. Let me write. I would Google that, and you might find it. Again, it's more of a shameless thing that I wrote. I've been writing it for, how long has it been? Like, at least a year and a half, maybe 2 years at this point. It's just a fun thing. I do it every Saturday and Sunday at specific times. Actually, yeah, it's. Oh yeah, I'm shameless about that. I like Transformation, I like Yuri, so that's the stuff I do. If you enjoy it, you can go and read it, it's fun. Yeah, hey, some of the stuff can also be very good. Some of the stuff can also be very good, Viridian. And, like, sure, a good chunk of it is indulgent smut stuff, but then we have things like Looping Fairy, which is a fantastic story. It's... Anyway, where were we? Most fatal indeed. I shall correct it post-haste. She is regretting her life choices. Qigong was staring at Don Quixote's expression in her wild artistic merit upon the curriculum with her usual crescent moon eyes. Wait, is that supposed to be Qigong's grimace? Of course, each to their own, I suppose. I need not be shaken by every little thing until we have their actual lesson plans in hand. Thanks for that. Currently I'm not in any position to buy anything, so I'm probably not going to buy anything anytime soon. I kind of spent most of my funds on getting this model. Anyway, love that the biggest critique is that it'd be required buying some time from T-Corp to work. Yeah, it's the technology of this world. We have their actual Hey, thanks for putting your faith in us, Qigong. We barely have any of that to go around ourselves, so I understand it couldn't have been easy. You could say that I have learned my lesson. the recent events have taught me that the path of learning is truly one without end. In other words, you guys might be a bit fucked up. You might be some fuck ups, so who knows what will happen. So, next up. Yeah, there is no way I'm going to get through this tonight, by the way. I am probably going to have to do another stream tomorrow to get further. Another student. I see that you have all individually worked on your lessons plans as per Zigong's request. Oh, Zilu. Hot. This is the first time I'm seeing her outside of her Heishao outfit. Like, she still has the bunny rabbit, and that's cute and adorable. Oh, but this is the first time I've seen her not wrapped in bandages. So this... Yeah, it's a nice contrast as we see these things with bandages, but also see them differently. Quite lovely. Okay. So then, where were we? Ah, yes. Yes, I've received a total of 12 lesson plans. Hold on. Shouldn't there be 13 of them? Even the executive manager has decided to spare their precious time to teach a class. Well, to be fair, the city's technology is insane, and she's a Heishao, so they probably get a lot of repair and healing, because scars... You can maybe give it... Thank you, Charlotte, I understand, but I don't have money at the moment. I am spit-skinned broke. So there's a link to a Twitter. There's a link to a Twitter on here as well, so you can DM me there, and we can chat. Obviously after this. Yeah, I handed in my lesson plan too. That is because... Oh. Hello, Chloe. No offense, but that name is kind of tainted for me because the Chloe I think of every time is Chloe von Einsburn from Fate, and if you know anything about that character, you know how she acts. That is because... so, who didn't do their homework? After a brief silence, everyone turned around and looked at one of the sinners. It ain't me. Oh, please, at least try to make a compelling argument. Who else other than you could it possibly... It's me. Now I see why he is also in the class. You've been acting out of character a lot recently. What's going on? You're joining the lessons? Well, Sinclair was drenched in sweat for some time. I'll do that after the stream. I'm Chloe. Thanks. Sinclair was drenched in sweat for some reason. Actually, in Sinclair's seat was a large stack of papers, each filled to the brim with writing. Sinclair, are these papers... Phew, I'm done. Sorry, I got too into making a lesson plan and couldn't stop myself from writing. Phew. Sinclair couldn't have appeared more proud as he placed that big bundle of sweat-soaked papers in Zilu's hands. And she received it with mild trepidation. You seem to have dedicated quite the momentous effort in drawing up this lesson plan. But you missed the deadline. What's up with her? Let's start reviewing from the first of the stack. Analytical approaches to assets AAA. What does AAA mean, and how do you plan to explore it all 108 approaches in a month? Yeah, he overdid it. Appreciation of our artistry in assassinations. I was not expecting that. Wait a second, isn't that something Ryoshi would do? Oh, I see. So this was Ryoshi's one. I see, this is Ryoshi's plan. FU went too far. Right, sorry. Flip a page and continue reading all those 108 approaches. What paint did you use? It's quite viscous and the papers has partially melted. What paint did you use? All right, lady. Lady, watch yourself. You got some on my arm. What paint did you use? A painting? I am not surprised. This is exactly what Ryoshi would do. Yeah, so I don't think it's... This is Zilu? Entrails coating the world. Hehe. Now you know how aesthetes appreciate the artistry of slaughter. Just what the hell did you paint on that paper? Hey, get it together. Zilu stumbles briefly. Whatever was on the paper must have given her quite the shock. My mind wandered for a moment. This is too dangerous to be used for a lesson. Thus it goes in the discarded pile. Goes to the discard pile. Weak sauce. Zilu crumbled up the paper without hesitation and tossed it out of sight. Next. Intro to Societal Reintegration. Impressive title. Chapter 1. How to shake hands with your left hand when the situation calls for it. Result. I think Result or Gregor. Gregor. Exploration of exclusively long-sleeved fashion and practices. Gregor, what the hell? Projecting confidence and why having a bug arm is totally cool. Gregor! This hurts my teacher brain. That's... No! Just no! No! That's, you know how it is. Be proud of who you are. All that philosophy stuff. Again, I'll do it after the stream, Charlotte. I kind of want to focus on stream rather than popping over to X and do all that stuff. So we'll do this after the stream. I wanted this lesson to give a bit of a paradigm shift where we can all come to see our flaws not as failings, but as evidence of our individuality. Which will usher in a world where we can carry on with our lives. No matter what kind of arm we have. Discard. Next. Zilu quickly flipped through the pages. Intro to Denigrative Linguistics. Subheading, the power of words. Sticks and stones may break their bones, so let's add words to the pile. My credentials include the ability to dress down an opponent so hard that they fall to their knees and beg me to stop. I have plans for application as well. The lesson teaches methods pertaining to disguising compliments and criticisms and vice versa. All of this seems rather difficult to learn. I have concluded from my hitherto observations that Jiaxi-chun is an individual of great promise in this field. Follow my instructions to a T, and I guarantee that this cadet shall be able to have the upper hand in any verbal confrontation. Yep, welcome to Princess Charming School. Exactly. I'm not a princess. I'm a Jubico, but it works according to. And welcome to the stream, Flower Heart. Is this a curriculum to make the best brawler or the best family hierarch out of me? So it's... Yeah, Zilu is beautiful. I have a... Well, let's just say I have a very extensive folder of a vast array of different... of art that I keep on hand, and let's just say I'm probably going to organize things to include a Zilu specific folder because magnifique. Also, Zilu's sort of the exact type that a friend of mine likes, although I think his preference leans towards white hair and a bit more psychopathic. But he likes women who can actually literally just kill him. Zilu seemed quite interested, but Jia Shichun's vehement veto eventually overruled the suggestion. On Justice, another impressive title. Subheading Methodologies of Captivating an Entire Room of Preoccupied Audience. This is Don Quixote. Discard. Okay. Be on thee, wherefore? Yeah, they maybe they should put it on so the targets don't fall in love with her. Next. Praxio ego splitting concerning intermirror conflict between the self and the reflection and paradoxic all-fractured theory of idealism which one attempts to open an unopening door to open the door. Yi sang. Learn spacing. Please. Utterly incomprehensible. Discard. Perhaps Miss Ryoshi's advice to truncate the lesson title would have been taken in earnest. That's not the problem. Survival and exploration. 21 reasons to pay attention when the exploration team's leader is giving advice on the upcoming adventure. Case study for 32 horrible mistakes that occur because the team was distracted during the leader's lectures. Ishmael. How to track down a troublemaker who tries to sweep trouble under the rug while the team leader isn't looking. Someone ignored my advice that we should have been moving 2 steps ahead. Finally, I've narrowed them down to 3 culprits. Oh wait, I forgot to take that part out. And into the shredder it went. When did the paper shredder get here? Again, what did you expect asking these idiots to make lesson plans? Oh, don't worry, Viridian. And I'm well aware that things are going to get changed because there's no way this is going to be pure comedy. Mostly comedy, or at least this part will be comedy. But yeah, this is going to be comedy. The art of using yawnings as a cover for propping up a cookie or 2 into your mouth. Especially useful when getting lectured. Hey, if you got good enough at it, you can do that with nuts too. I thought you guys were at least going to take this seriously. Aha, so it was you who made those crunching noises in our last meeting. What? Now do you take me for an amateur? The art of societal maneuvers? How to let it flow through you? Good point. That sounds promising. I'm guessing result. How to not make things awkward when you walk right in on someone's bad-mouthing you. Oh, Honglu. The most important part of this art is to flash a refreshing smile in a way that looks earnest. It helps when you convince yourself that smiling is what brings good fortune. Now, while he is being his usual self, that actually might be useful for Hierarch. Spiles have a way of disarming people, giving them pause and making them hesitate. I remember that. Big Bro used that technique to confuse a lot of Dongyang people who hated him. I see. This, well, this... I can't quite bring myself to throw this into the shredder. Next, how to remain in complete stillness for a week until the next command is received. Result, why did you think that would be useful? This lesson plan was designed based on Rodian's advice that I must prioritize strengths that are unique to myself. Yeah, I am almost certainly he's kind of autistic. Look, in my defense, I didn't know he considered that to be his unique strength, okay? Let us consider whether standing in complete stillness for a week is a quality one might seek in the family hierarchy. In the shredder. This one is certainly interesting. What separates bravado from bravery? Heathcliff? Jack Shite, sod off and grab your weapons. Yep, that's Heathcliff. Yep, always gotta read the full print. So it's my philosophy that reason don't necessarily need to be considered before coming to blows. Martial prowess is indeed an undisputed part of the family hierarch's qualities, but our focus is not on developing a hierarch of a syndicate. Not inapplicable, but not what we need here. Next. Information disparity as a driver of inequitable treatment. Sounds useful. Oh, that's actually the most interesting sounding one so far. And the application of engineering frameworks. Faust. Okay, it's kinda losing me, but I'm still on board. For systematic resolution in rational self-interest driven societies, the Gesellschaft, aka, when it comes to talking to infinite U's. Is it still going? Yes. That was 1/5 of the full title. Let me take a drink of water. Faust, you're supposed to be the smart one. Notably, well, research papers can be long. Yeah, you're supposed to be the smart one. It seems that the same trouble has hindered both you and I. Every word in that title was added for its absolute necessity. I'm guessing that Faust and 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 one who grips Faust is suggested these titles. Indeed. After she had gone through the majority of our lesson plans, finally. Now that's over. Yes, it's finally my turn. Please, for the love of all that is holy, please, Sinclair, please give a decent lesson plan. Maybe she took some chances to log off. Sinclair, I think Sinclair's going to get it though, because he, unlike everyone else, he properly went to school. Phew. Sinclair sighed with the gravitas of someone who's been bestowed with the most important mission in his life. Yeah, it's the Gesellschaft. It's literally the Gesellschaft. That's what it's called. House called is called Gesellschaft. Thinking back, even back in school, I used to daydream about becoming a teacher myself. I thought I could be good at it. So I guess you could say that I'm pretty happy to be given an opportunity like this. It's going to get shredded. I can feel the comedic timing reaching us now. I recall my lesson, the theory of self-overcoming. We have to accept that everyone stumbles at first, but by always striving to be a better person than I was yesterday, wait for it. Hey, but what if I like who I was yesterday more? Set up for Rhodians? I think this might be set up for Rhodius stuff, like they've been sprinkling this out. That's okay. Everyone has their own unique potential sleeping deep inside. So with everything I've learned and experienced so far, let me teach you. Let me teach you how to not doubt your own capabilities. How to always shoot higher. Hold on. You had me for a second there, but what's up with the acting like you're an infinitely more enlightened person than I am? Yeah, Rhodian has depression. Mondo, mega depression. And yeah. She has Mondo mega depression. Ah, of course. I prepared a speaking class where you can learn how to speak with modesty too. I never would have imagined Sinclair would be this into it. And speaking with modesty is not what we need. We need the opposite, actually. Yeah, too bad he's into it that... He's so into it that he's not even listening to what Ji-chun's saying. Following that, your company's... It seems that Zilu has completed her review. Oh, I see. Now, how's everything going, everyone? Class prep going well? It's going as well as you can expect. As in, terribly. Utterly terribly. Honestly, this was an entire waste of time to make lesson plans from these people. Sob. Mein curriculum most especial. Okay, so that's a no. That was Sal's impression upon... Second. Okay, that's just Twitch. Okay. Sal's impression upon taking a quick glance at Don Quixote, who was sobbing and cradling the shredded pieces of her lesson plan in her hand. Well, it wasn't a complete bust at least. Sinclair's lesson plan survived. Phew, Miss Zigong, Miss Saud, I prepared a full 30 days worth of lesson plans. Would you like to take a look? But Zigong and Saud weren't looking at the dozens of lesson plans Sinclair presented so proudly before their eyes. They were looking away. She especially was looking away with an unmistakable expression of pity. I think Dante probably submitted one. So he doesn't know. Would you mind explaining this, Zilu? I could not bring myself to tell him. Apologies. So this young man produced this entire, sizable stack of lesson plans all on his own. I see. Weakness has found its way into your heart in the face of such earnest effort. I understand. Ah, yes. Such earnest effort. You couldn't really stop it. However, it has been decided that Sinclair will not be participating as one of Jia Shichun's teachers. Or should I call you Pupil Sinclair to be exact? All that earth was for nothing. Haha, this has got to be a mistake, right? Isn't Ji-chun the pupil here? No, there haven't been any mistakes. My lord has specifically instructed that you are to learn from this as well. Locked. If I had to make a guess, this is because of the Blue Man Group. What? What? I always love this artwork in CGs. This isn't right. Right? Guys, this isn't right. Now this looks like a proper classroom. It would have felt pretty dang empty with Ji-chun sitting there all on her own, don't you think? Yep, pretty much. Okay. Besides, I bet Sink's the resident expert on going to school, right? School was luxury for me, you know? Most Backstreet residents as well. My little Juboko here, when she lived in the city, well, she didn't live in the city, she lived in the outskirts. Her school was basically talking to old people of her village. And then the temple. The temple was not a nice place to learn. Yeah, maybe, but that doesn't mean I ever wanted to go back to school. No one ever does. Except Japanese people. You should learn to be grateful. Don't dole out my teachings to just anyone. I don't dole out my teachings to just anyone. Don't forget, we have to redo the whole lesson plan under their supervision. Yeah, it is still talking to and learning from older people. Otis, you always get on your soapbox and try to lecture everyone about something after every battle anywhere. And you, Ishmael, you always get hyperfixated on something. Ishmael, hyperfixation. Makes sense. Once you find something interesting, you never stop talking about it for 3 hours at least. And... I will ensure that you receive the best education I can provide, Sinclair. Hold on, Yisang. I thought we were the underdog duo. Remember during the checkup when I said we got this? We were going to get this together. Yeah, but that's for compatibility. He's a genius. The evaluation painted a twisted picture of the true scale of strength, the sole measure of which erroneously relied entirely on physical might. I shall not hesitate to impart knowledge for those who require education. Oh, Scarbrand says, I doubt there are any nice places to learn in the city. Just places that are less bad. I mean, even a school in a nest probably pushes its students incredibly hard. Yeah, they probably do things like feed their body parts to a cramomatic that then produces a milkshake that shares their intelligence or their learning between them, just so they can easily cram for a lot of information before exam day. Yes, it seemed fairly normal, except don't forget the whole peer pressure to replace your body parts with cybernetics. And Cromer being there. Cromer was the not normal bit. But yeah, it seemed pretty normal. Congratulations, my lady. You have found yourself a desk mate, which some also call a bestie depending on desk placement. I think she actually likes this. I think Shi-chun likes the idea of having a bestie. Deskmate bestie? What the heck does any of that mean? Never mind, she just doesn't understand what it means. Well, no, bestie is a thing I've heard in anime before. So I think it might also refer to that. Bestie is like, you know, deskmate, best friends. You sit next to each other, you become friends because, well, you're next to each other. Might as well talk. Huh? Why are you excited? Chun's eyes widened with confusion, as though she just heard those words for the first time in her life. When I first met her, when she was 16, she explained to me that she hadn't attended any school-like institutions. Not surprised, her family is stupid rich. And, you know, just general danger to her, considering this family is so assassination happy. This is par for the course for children of Pyongyang, who are raised for the purpose of becoming the next family hierarch. The reason being that schools can be a perfect place to assassinate someone. So deskmates and besties. Sinclair began to explain, seemingly resigned to the fact that he was essentially going back to school for a month with the other sinners as his teachers. Oh yes, it is going to be a comedy act to say the least. Usually, sit next to each other and help one another out. A bestie might nudge the other awake when they doze off, share their homework, when one another is one forgotten to do theirs. They usually end up being included in the best memories of each other's school time. Yeah, school friends are fickle things, you don't hear from them, but sometimes you meet a friend that sticks with you. So not very important at all, huh? I think I got this on my own. I don't need a bestie. She's going to need a bestie. It may have come a few years late, but I am moved that my lady finally has a chance to experience school. Same here. I remember it like yesterday. Shi-chun would sit and watch other kids walk to school from a distance, tears welling in her eyes. So, like this. I want to go to school. I want to go to school. I am so happy that this has a tear toggle. Sniff, sniffs, cry, cry. Dude! Oh, that reminds me. One day, out of nowhere, she started saying something about eating from lunchboxes with friends. I haven't a clue as to how or where she ever heard about it, but she snuck into the kitchen and... I see that Honglu's playing the part of the embarrassing parent. Wait, don't you guys have lesson plans to write? Come on, hurry up. 30 days are ticking down. We've only got 30 days. Of course. Unfortunately, I have become quite occupied with another task of great importance. Assistant Wu with indexing and reviewing various documents that are in critical need of organizing. Ah yes. Thus, I must leave the lesson plan task to you two, Zulu and Miss Saud. Have you any thoughts on this matter? What was that? I said nothing. And Miss Saud is probably having an existential crisis, and in her head basically going, wow, how are they going to pull this off? No, don't spoil anything. I want to try it. I want to try this, and don't worry, I want to do this and try my best. Plus, yeah, I'm going to look at the achievements because I'm going to try my best to raise her properly. Okay, now 30 days of classes. Let's see how this goes. Zilu and Saud appear to have aged several years overnight, their faces sunken and sallow. Finally! And this is why I advocate using the mirror technology. We can get experts in a whole variety of things. Like, maybe we can grab family hierarch Honglu to fix this. Yeah. Finally. After referencing the idiosyncrasies and various statistical data available to us regarding each sinner, we have come up with an appropriate curriculum. Miss Zilu? Apologies. Oh boy. Devil in all worlds. Yeah, paperwork is the devil. Paperwork is hell. Paperwork leads to just destruction and pain. Sleep deprivation has weaved me of clever mind. The path of an educator is truly a grueling one. Yeah, we do a lot of work, we have to deal with kids, and we don't get paid that much. Marching to battle would be much easier. Haha, still, thanks to Miss Jiaqiu's methodology you shared, that we did manage to find a way to make this quite efficient. Efficient, huh? To be a true family hierarch, there are dozens, hundreds of virtues one must understand and master. However, To do so in 30 days as promised is an implausible effort. Well, we could technically do it, but it would require a warp train. And access to the private car and access to a way to just, put her to sleep once we've done our lessons. But that's probably not possible. Thus, we have categorized the countless virtues into 3 subcategories, into 3 supercategories. And they are called... Activate, Shishun Raising Simulator. What are these supposed to be? Shi, Zhong, and Ren. Shi, wisdom, the wise lose neither people nor words. To hold one's silence is in need of speech shall cost them people. To speak in need of silence shall cost them words. A reasonable sequence of logic. Yong, courage, the ability to overcome fear to act decisively. Have too much and risk becoming a brute, aka Heathcliff. Have too little and risk becoming a craven. I guess you could technically say that might have been Sinclair until his canto, and he's improved. It needs harmony and balance. So how far are we allowed to go with corporal punishment again? Now, this might sound harsh, but that's actually a genuine question. And usually it's unfortunately none. I really long for the days of corporate punishment, where I could slap a student on their wrist with a ruler for not doing their homework. I recall no instance of any discussion regarding corporal punishment. And Ren, humanity, is the benevolence of the heart, the compassion of behavior that dictates respect towards every human. Clearly, most of the faculties of this school are severely lacking in all 3 of your criteria. Just how do you think they'll be able to teach the students anything? Yeah, like a certain someone who needs a lesson in Ren. Yes. Yeah, to be fair, Scarborough says corporal punishment, something probably used in a lot of schools in the city. Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, if you can get your hands or limbs just replaced, you don't really have to worry about being gentle. On the other hand, as a teacher, I like the idea. Some students just make me want to throttle them. Are you sure I'm in good hands? Just what the heck am I supposed to learn here? Where's Wei? Mr. Wei and Miss Zigong are currently quite preoccupied with handling the monumental task of paperwork. Yeah, I think Saud and Zilu have the easier job. Alright, Mr. Wei wanted me to deliver this message to you. Be strong, my lady. Wei! Despite her protestations, the 30 days of classes commenced. Let's begin. School! Da 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 da. So I have that. So where are this? What's this? Okay, so I'm swapping there. So Xichun. So I need to raise her up so her skills are actually good, a lot better. Oh, that's clever. That's clever. Wait, no. Yeah, this is her baseline we saw during Don Quixote's one, where she assisted us during that, and the sweepers. So all good. All good. So, and let's see if I swap this here. Okay. So combo. So there are specific combos we can use. Okay. Day 1. Use tip-top shape. Yang and then start Windows config. Okay. Yeah, okay, spring cultivation, stats, class effort, raise indifference. Some classes even raise or lower the morale. Okay, select the teachers, got it. Classes have either. Let's see, a successful class will greatly increase the stat. A failed class, reduce the amount of stat gain. High morale results. Okay, so that's sanity. Class combo, a class combination gives certain bonuses. So I have to combo classes together. Combos. Okay. Begin classes. Classes progress automatically. During class, you can view students change. That's real time. Okay, I can upgrade them to make the classes better. Makes sense. And let's see. I get certain bonuses, increases her resistance. New combat prowess, I found that earlier. Solo battles, so will help her against certain people as part of her midterms. And combat progress. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. I don't know where the... So let's see what we have here. Metaphysical approach you can reflect in the world. So this will give 2G to Zhong. It's going to lower morale, probably because he's not the best teacher. Okay, so... Mandatory class, okay. So these are the different classes here. Okay, makes sense, makes sense. And I'm looking for the achievements now. Resume class, yes. My name is Yi-Sang, that is all. The class I have prepared for the day. Aha, I've heard plenty about your mirror tech. Which makes me wonder, going by the level of advancement in that technology, couldn't you have approached it from a different angle? Si-chun, you're getting distracted. You know how technological advancement usually goes. People invent for the sake of creation, only to have their inventions inevitably warped into weapons of destruction. That's accurate. I see. I think the person getting hit to morale is him. Indeed, you show much promise already. As you surmise now, the mirror has, in the past, almost been employed to shatter possibilities instead of reflecting them. I'm sure that's the angle most others wanted to see happen. Removal of potential risks sounds much more palatable than potential itself to some people, after all. Well, especially for those in power, you just want to remove the odds and make it 100%. Correct again, yet destruction was a word that bore too much suffering for my heart. My sole egress from it was abandonment of Hondam fellows and my life's work, making myself a fugitive from the past. How did you bring yourself to just abandon it all? You know, I feel like we're going to get a bunch of character development moments, things to just help flesh this out. Yep, character moments. And I think that's very good. Helps flesh out the sinners, show us a bit more of them, and in general show how they have grown. I conversed. Yes, I talked. I talked with others. I talked with friends. With who? With the world. He traveled, he saw. With myself that lies within me. As you are aware, the mirror's reflection extends beyond the veil of our own reality. It reflects the potentialities, the latent strength, and the world. Yet, even among them, the reflection of the greatest importance is that of the self. Let not the innumerable words of the mirror enchant your gaze. First, one must direct their studies inward and reflect upon oneself. That's actually a very interesting thought, because remember back to Wuthering Heights, when Nellie was shown the mirror. Where she saw all the possibilities where she ended up old and grey, and she blamed Heathcliff and Catherine for that. But the thing is she got basically enchanted by those possibilities, not realizing the hand she played in it. Similarly, when Kathy was shown the mirror, she was shown to look at all of the worlds where she made Heathcliff sad, and thus went a bit crazy thanks to every Kathy, only to snap out of it at the last moment, while Nellie didn't. It's interesting. When you have access to be able to see all possibilities, sometimes you just need to take a step back and look at oneself and understand that all possibilities aren't that you have infinite possibilities, and you're the one who can decide. To quote Yi-Sang's canto, what you see in the mirror is something that you can achieve. You can grow your wings. I learned how to be more true to myself by looking into the mirror. Zichun has grown. Sinclair has grown. That's good, that's good. Now I see also... Okay. Now, if you are prepared, do explain what you see in the mirror. You needn't haste. For some reason... Yeah, everything ends up being very much multiverse, but then you've got bits here and there that go, nah. Well, I think it's a case of how mirror technology, at least the way we utilize it, has a bit of an effect of essentially doing some switches and changes. Because as we know from family hierarch candidate Ishmael, we've seen that something fucky-wucky is going on with it, so there might be more things to look at. For some reason, Shichun appeared to hesitate before the mirror. Hey, it's been a while since I looked into the mirror for so long. My lady, do you recall Sun Zhen of the Shi family who contacted you for a meeting? Yeah, the guy who said he was gonna show me a precious flower that blooms only at night? I remember that you were vehemently against me going out there, so I stayed inside. I wonder what kind of flower it was. Don't tell me you were actually looking forward to meeting him, my lady. Oh, of course not. You were wise to stay inside. It was revealed that you weren't the only person who was invited, my lady. That vile man had hired a group of assassins to ambush the meeting spot, and would have been waiting there to spring the trap had you gone. But apparently he was outplayed, and had his limbs and head torn off as punishment. What a relief, isn't it? But at the same time, you never got to see the flower. I guess. I'm glad it didn't go away. You were right. If only you still had the Wei branch under your control. Stop it. We agreed to move on from that, remember? We don't have to talk about it. I was brushing my hair and looking in the mirror as we were talking, but I realized that I no longer recognized the girl in the mirror. That's a sad thing. When you look at the mirror and the person you look back, is that you? Do you recognize them? I don't know why, but I found it so hard to meet her eye. But I brushed it off because I had to, An experience like that was going to be a common occurrence anyway, and the family hierarch war was always looming on the horizon. It's no longer you. Exactly. There's also another song I like. When you look at your reflection, ask you, am I still worthy of your grace? Well, am I still the kind of person that there's that person that deserves? Am I still the person I was yesterday? Perhaps what you felt then may have been shame. But it is paramount to face oneself nonetheless, nay, especially so if it was. And Sinclair, what do you see? I see... Well, I just see myself smiling. I don't see what's so out of the ordinary. But it seems like Sinclair couldn't really bring himself to face the mirror. If after what we just discussed, I think I understand something now. Yep, self-reflection. Now that I've had some quiet time looking at my reflection, I think I uncovered a part of myself I've had hidden away for a long time. It was a very precious time learning to converse with my inner self. Yep, they're better, they're getting stronger. Tip-top shape, a bit higher. Oh boy, that's 1,000. I am going to have to train them hard. You learn how to be more true to myself by looking into the mirror. Okay, so now they've leveled up there. And now you're an expert. Good, that should help efficiency. Metaphysical approach to ego in the reflective world. Leveled up to expert. Good starting point. So he's now better at this. His slash resistance higher. Oh, and Don Quixote is here as well. Let's see, what does you do? Grow passionate, let's see, so +5. So this improves morale. 82. So I think if I swap that in. Okay, so I swap that in there. There. If I was to actually properly schedule this, I'd put this one ahead. I'd put this one here to level it up. Maybe, who knows. Anyway, if I was to properly schedule this, I put this one first, raise the morale high again. Put this one second because I know there's going to be a morale drop, and then put this one third to bring it back up so for the next batch. Okay. Ahem. 'Tis true that a station of teaching is prone to imbue one with a sense of bashfulness. Yeah, I know. Tell me, where am I supposed to look at them? But Sinclair and Shichun both sat with a bit of apprehension as well. Which is understandable given what Sao told them about something before the lesson started. Some time ago, Otis, who'd been glaring daggers at Don Quixote for a good while, finally decided to voice her doubts to Sao. Okay, thanks, I'll give it a look. So, what is Don Quixote, that woman, supposed to teach? Have you not considered that her usual flippancy might only cause more trouble than it's worth? You worry too much, Otis. Ah yes, Sao has learned to go with the flow. Learn the power of the flow. And enter the flow state. While she may not look it, Don Quixote is extremely well versed in those adventure tales. And why would any of that matter? Have you yourself considered that fixers often appear when history is in the making? Ah, Don Quixote is the history class. Ah, she's the fun history teacher. Ahem, let us see here. Don Quixote looked a second to savor the moment as though she had been preparing her whole life for it, then continued. Amongst the greatest fixers whose honored name were engraved in history, verily. Let us commence this lesson with the tale of the fixer, Yu Fei. The tale beginneth in the year some time later, and I see how this raises morale. This is a interesting and fun story lesson that allows people to learn a lot of interesting facts and figures. Are you done? That being said, just how can she continue to talk at such length? She's been going for ages. Thus commence the time to test thy dedication to this class, and the knowledge that should naturally come with it. A pop quiz, if thou wilt. When she'd even had the time to prepare this. Oh, you underestimate the level of her sugar high. I can assure thee, 'tis a quiz of entirely reasonable difficulty, if thou hast paid attention in class. Worry thee not. Does this pop quiz have prizes? But of course, I came prepared for such inquiries. For each correct answer, I shall bestow upon thee, from the very treasure chest of mine, these precious fixer badges. Forsooth, I did not let a single day go by in which I did not polish each and every one of them, on 3 separate occasions at the very least. This is why I love Dawn. She is so crazy and fun. I don't know. I don't really need them. Here, hold thine applause, for there is a bonus reward for the victor who, by the end of the match, carries more badges. Thou shalt attain the role of protagonist in this theatrical play of mine making. Fixer Chronicles Fu Ye. 'Tis an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm not doing anything. It's not doing anything for either of us. It's still a pretty useless reward, but if you're turning this into a competition, I won't lose. Some students, you just need to put a contest in front of them, and they get going. Seriously? What, scared you'll lose? Is history your weakness or something? I'll make you know that I was the teacher's pet in every single history class I took. Usually not a good thing. And I'll have you know that I was, no matter the subject, showered with praise from every master I ever had. These are masters for expensive teaching at a family, so I don't think that's a good thing. Okay, if that's how you want to play it, I'll have you know that I was a prodigy in other classes too. I did great in art classes, pretty good at math too. I was just being humble because I didn't want to steal your thunder, Zichun. Oh then, let me tell you that I was trained in the mastery of at least 10 different disciplines every single day. And on one of those days, what one of my masters told me. He said, looks like Miss Jie Chichun's finally getting a feeling of how friendships close in age are forged in school. Yep, or rivalries. By the end of this, they'll be best of friends, or the worst of enemies. So Sinclair, if she tries to kill you, just let her. I can bring you back, but we need her alive. That's good. No matter how excellent her masters were, there are some experiences you just can't learn from teachers. I tick-tocked in response. 'Tis year 505. What is the historical community's consensus on the most illustrious battle that Fixer Yu Fei is said to have partaken in? Allow me to impart to thee a major clue. If thou hast paid attention as I discoursed upon the 5 pillages in which Fixer Yu Fei was mentioned, this should not be a difficult question to answer. The honorable fixer of the Cerulean Heaven, who attained triumph in the Battle of Rhino Tree in the year 465, hath said what was the worst ordeal she had to face in her career. I've got it. It's when she had to forge onward despite watching her dear comrades fall one by one as they held the line to buy her time. Damn it, I was too slow. B, young Si-chun, thou art incorrect. Honorable Fixer of the Cerulean Heaven is recorded to have testified that the worst ordeal in her career was when she was forced to stand between her enemies with hair that was not luscious, as the supply line breakage caused her regular delivery of nutritional supplements to cease. What thou hast suggested, young Si-chun, was her 17th most difficult ordeal. Maybe she'd like some hair coupons. Maybe she wants hair coupons. She's speaking like she was actually there. My impression is quite understandable, for I am trained in the ways of vividly regaling these tales, but most of these tales I have learned from books. But should I anticipate an opportunity to regale these tales to such audience, enough to study the ways of minstrels? There was a clear look of pride in her twinkling eyes. Yeah, she spent hundreds of years reading books on fixers. Yeah, like for all the fact that she is a bit crazy and a bit silly, she's probably memorized them cover to cover, multiple editions of the same book. Time certainly flies when hearing the tales of exciting adventures. Yeah, now their morale has improved, they're back up to full. What was the secret technique Honorable Fixer Lysander employed in his resolution of the case of the Fey Forest? Speak its name in full. I've got it. It's a Summer Night's Fantasia. Ahaha! Yet I cannot let pass such an unmotivated retelling of his ultimate move. Hardly could one internalize the true, noble spirit of fixers by simply reciting it with such apathy. Thou must recreate the exact pose and the enunciation. I have a feeling that if I was in Don's class, I would have a fantastic time. Are you kidding me? Ooh. Come on, you can do this. Dear Si-chun, you can do this. It's nothing. Yeah, this is pretty. I can see the shipping moment, and this is beautiful. This is beautiful. One second. Okay, saving this for tomorrow's thumbnail. One second. Because there is no way I'm not utilizing this. And save PNG picture. PNG picture. I'm saving this for the thumbnail. There's no way I'm not utilizing this in my further dealings. Illusions of Midsummer Night shall devour thee whole. Summer Night Fantasia! Thine enunciation was quite shaky upon the word illusions yet. Hee. Thou hast demonstrated sufficient courage. Thus I bestow upon thee this badge. I grow tired of this nonsense. Just how much longer are you planning to drag this on? Thus muttered the hero, then declared, I shall tear this evil storm asunder and find a place for this blade at the center of thy heart. I thought she was basically saying, I have enough of this, but no, she's getting into it. This is fun. Dante lights, left side. Gotcha. Don Quixote, who was watching Sinclair and Jia Si-chun's two-person play, silently wiped her tears away. They grow up so fast. Grew up so fast. I just so happy. Bravo, bravo! Certain minor details were missed, such as that Yu Fei the Fixer was left-handed, and that he had a habit of playing with a lighter in his left pocket before every duel, yet 'twas a wonderful reenactment indeed. I have no other critique to impart upon thee. When faced with great adversity in thine adventure, rekindle the memory of Yu Fei the Fixer's final duel. Remember it well. Thus cometh to the end the lessons of today. Huh. It was just for a moment, but I think I'm starting to get it. I get why she was obsessed with fixers. Clutched tightly in Ji-chun's hand were the badges Don Quixote had gifted to her. You gain into it. I like these character moments. Yep. Not literally perfect. Yeah, basically. And I wonder how thorough her book is. You know, if the theory that Barry has the ability to time travel is true, then that might be actually first-hand accounts. And now we do this. We learn from the mirror. Okay, so I'm going to return to window. I want to see what you mean by where the achievements are, because I want to actually try to get it. If I can get it in a single run, that would be perfect. Not that one, no. Event page. Oh, there it is, achievements. It's entirely probable these fixers were alive during Dawn's 200 years in the tower. Barry was definitely alive during that span at least. Exactly. Okay, so let's see. Pass the midterms, get it. Second midterm, got it. Fourth midterm. Take every teacher's course, going to do that regardless. The ancient moral for 7 days in a row. I'm going to gain for that. Let's see. Safety Siachit to the end. Okay. 3 of Yisang's classes. Okay. So, see. To the end. 3 of Faust classes, 3 of Don Quixote's classes, 3 of Ryoshu's. So I think I have to do at least 3 of every sinner's classes. So let's see. Gregor. Z stat to 400, to 800. So you get them each to 800 at least. Discover 5 class combinations, so I'm going to have to experiment around here. They're all achievements. Oh, that's not that hard. I would like to get that on my own time. So I just need to get back to this because I need that 1000. Also, one quick thing. Since I know I'm probably not going to use the rest of this, don't want to waste it. Especially since this means I can cash in my mirror dungeon. Resume. So we have about half an hour to see. How does Faust do things? Let's see. Let's see. So Faust has... Faust will lower it by 6. So I could add another Yisang. Yeah, that's Yisang, and then use Don Quixote to raise it up. So it will lower by 6, then by 8, then raise by 20 to full. Yeah, I think that'll work. He's still in tip-top shape. Okay, yeah, don't trigger that again. I think I learned a combo. Boom! This is a component part taken from the structure that forms H-Core. This may prove to be an opportunity to conduct in-depth analysis on the nature of the former H-Corp singularity, which has been enduring for such a long time. Huh, you look kinda upbeat today, Faust. Indeed. An opportunity to study the old H-Corp singularity is not one that comes often. Hello once again, the Faust that asks questions, the Faust that has curiosity. It's good to see you again. No, it's fine, it's fine. I'll tell you if you overstep, Viridian. It's perfectly fine. As there was potential for integration into Mephistopheles, I made a request to disassemble a part of the bus's engine, but was denied. A shame. Oh, aren't you the one who built Mephistopheles though, Faust? Mephistopheles is indeed Faust's work, but not all of it was mine. It is possible that Faust may never reveal every small detail that went into its creation. That's an interesting bit of lore. So, from my reading of it, that's implying that different Fausts provided the information, but they didn't share it with the other Faust. I would very much enjoy a chance to completely disassemble it, even its engine, so that it could be reassembled with my own hands. Yeah, sure. So... okay, so I think what I base... okay, so it looks like because I had Faust and Dawn and Faust and Yi Sang, they got the bonus. Based on the skills I learned, I managed to recreate the model of a machine from Faust Blueprints. So let's see, they have grown. So that's how it works. I think I get it. Didn't think this is how I'd get to learn more about the old H-Corp. I don't think I can do much against the reconstruction day right now, though. But this knowledge will certainly come in handy when the day comes for me to gradually dismantle that innocuous thing. The day when Hongyang can be a place where people can live without fear. Without the fear of the encroaching reconstruction days. Without obsessively counting their rooms to see if they'll fall or not. Until Hongyang can be a place where you can sleep with the promise of a safe tomorrow. Basically, the promise that your house will actually be a house and won't kick you out. I'm sure you'll pull it off. Oh, and I learned a lot during this lesson too. Miss Faust, Now I know where this came from. It is hilarious. The voltage must have been set too high, repeating experiments with different combinations of fuses and wires. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. I think it was mentioned that it was the previous H-Corp's thing. There was supposed to be a lesson somewhere in there, right? Yep, and then we have Yi Sang's taxidermy. So now now it lowered slightly. Still tip-top. And finally, the Don Quixote. Which raised our morale up again and now got Don Quixote expert. Good. 3 mons, so that's... does kind of... well, to be fair, she did take down what was basically the strongest head of the wing, and I know it was a bit ambiguous. Plus, you know, Finus talks in riddles upon riddles upon riddles. Okay, so Dawn's better. Now Zichen's slash resistance is up. Okay, so... and she's good, still good. So what do? You lower morale. Morale's okay. Got an upgrade there, so... so let's do a test of... so that'll be 12 lower. Yeah, I think I can afford to do you, and then you. So I have my taxidermy geniuses combo, and the next time I will throw in a Don combo in order to raise up morale high again. So let's begin. Unlike some other classes, which were more on the upbeat side of things, the room's air felt grim and solemn as soon as everyone saw what Gregor had written on the chalkboard. Oh, on war. Don't worry, keep it a secret. I want to learn it as I go. The main thing for me is just, well, generally learning and experimenting. This is fun for me. I like these kind of games. Finding the best way to min-max everything and get the most optimal combinations. Losing a wing war leaves a much larger, long-lasting impact than some medium-sized enterprise closing up shop. It might be too soon to talk about this, but we came pretty damn close to one recently, didn't we? Yeah, we came so close to the edge of disaster. We were this close to a large-scale war breaking out right here, which absolutely would have happened if Miss Chi-Chun had failed to finish her ascension. It would have spread like wildfire, too. So my class is to be about what exactly happens when a war... Oh. A piece of chalk slipped from Gregor's fingers as he went to scribble something on the board. His left hand was trembling as though the room's temperature had plummeted only for him. Man, why is it gotta... Excuse me, Miss Zilu, is it okay if I smoke? PTSD is quite the bit, isn't it? Go ahead. You good? Well, when else am I gonna get a chance to share the realities of war right to a wing chief executive's face? Yeah, depression, trauma, and PTSD. But I think it's a good thing that he's willing to share this, because it allows Chi-Chun to, well, it allows her to understand the realities, not from the ivory tower, but from the ground. The moments that just don't come off your skin, no matter how hard you scrub at them. Hey, take a break if you need it. I'm going to listen to every word you have to say here today, no matter how long it takes. Man, do I appreciate that sentiment. Well, still though, I can't dilly-dally when Miss Chi-Chun's got other stuff to deal with, huh? So, let's take a look at how things were at the beginning of the Wing War. How the war began, and reminder who was responsible for putting this off. Ayan. The world's, like, a high-functioning sociopath. Now I know enough about urban and trench warfare to give an explanation of my own, which is very good. So now that will raise that higher. And that's why the Smoke Wars fronts were mostly characterized by trench warfare. No one wanted to risk fighting in concrete jungles where they could be surrounded by enemies at all times. Does make sense. Urban warfare is quite a nasty thing, so you want to avoid it most of the time. So everyone tried to draw each other out to an open battlefield, okay, which naturally turned into trench warfare. Of course, every wing has a different singularity, so this isn't really applicable to all cases. It's just that the former G-Corp found flat plains easier to maneuver in. I feel like Dongyang could make a pretty good use of Hongyuan and as a defensive fortress, especially with its internal structure constantly shifting around, which the Heishao know and use very well. Yeah, that makes sense. Would probably also be why why if you want to take it out, you need to change the environment. You need to strike everywhere at once. Yeah, most severe, ill-conceived, and effective therapy. Yeah, whispering, hey, owning your flaws and virtues is cool. Exactly. But yeah, I'm actually thinking about this clearly because, basically for this character, I'm working on some mirror world omakas and little things for it for the quest. And one includes her as emissary to H Corp from her faction, the Mountain, which I'm not going to explain here. And well, let's just say that her entire job is to play at being a diplomat while sowing the seeds for the harvest. Exactly. This should explain why they were hesitant outside Dahuanyang. Remember the thumb fellas, the ones we met who were going in circles. Not to mention how the Heishao all utilize the topography of Hongyan differently. Even if an outsider were to get a read on how one of the branches maneuver around Hongyan, as long as the 12 Heishao branches are standing, yeah, it's unassailable. It would be a meat grinder, a blender. Well, despite going into all that, I'm sure we all know what the best answer in all warfare is. Not having a war in the first place. I'll be honest, I can't stop thinking about some of the stories you've been telling us. I can't even imagine what it would have been like to have to not only witness it, but go through all of that. Well, we did visit your fathoms, Gregor, but that wasn't even the tip of the iceberg. No. Gregor's Canto's coming up. And when it does, well, it's not going to be pleasant. Not in the least. The city was devoured in smoke, its citizens in madness. He'd always shrugged off those stories as ramblings of the past. But during the war, he stood at the center of the heartless machine that was the city. Its every gear calibrated to slaughterhouse precision to maximize the death of its people. There, he must have witnessed things far worse than the worst the city presently has to offer. His eyes gazed beyond the veil of the bygone past, shaking relentlessly in pursuit of what was no more. Oh boy, sorry fellas. I'm afraid I got carried away lamenting what happened, that I forgot that this was supposed to be a class. I'll be sure to prep something more useful next time. No. Everything you told me really solidifies my resolve. This chaos within Hongyan needs to come to an end soon. That something so horrible could happen. I'm heading to my next class. But wait for me. Even after the two students had left, Gregor lingered in that room for a while, lighting up cigarette after cigarette, without erasing what he wrote on the chalkboard, smoke filling the room. Gregor, I promise you, you're going to get your happy ending, and we're going to kill your mother because damn that bitch deserves it. He left only after almost emptying the entire pack. Thank God whatever you have doesn't mean you get... Sorry. Thank God what you have means you don't get lung cancer. Faust, so... Taxidermy geniuses. So, now we know that Gregor does not get any combos with Faust or Yi-Sang. So this next round... Okay. So we now know that Faust, Don Quixote and Faust, and And no one there, so I'm going to take a gamble here. I'm going to try Don Quixote, raise the morale up, with another Gregor move. I think this is probably going to result in some kind of combo with at least one of them. I need to try as many combos as I can get my hands on here. Although I do need more. Let's see if this works. How are classes going, Shichun? Oh, you're here. I'm not you, big bro. I pay attention in class. Oh, hello, Miss Dayu. Dayu, hello again. She was really insistent on helping me out, even though I refused because she looked preoccupied. The moment I found out about the contents of his lesson plan, I simply could not allow him to do this alone. What are you going to teach her? Looks like it's going to be another serious class. Apologies for the delay. Greetings. Dayu of the Lind family formally extends her greetings to the venerable Hierarch. Been a while since I heard that greeting around here. Wait, what about Big Sister Bao Chai? Are you sure it's okay for the Azu family bodyguard to be here? I am no longer employed as Miss Bao Chai's guard. What? Wait, don't tell me we got you fired. Everything I did that day, including accompanying you, was under Miss Bao Chai's orders. As for why she no longer needs my services, I don't understand myself. She suddenly let me go after the trouble was over. I can think of a snake that is responsible. So, what's there for you to teach me, big bro? Your last lesson plan and about not making things awkward got vetoed by Zilu, so you could have taught me a thing or two if we were kids, but come on. You spent most of your time stuck in Yi Hongyuan before leaving Hongyan. I don't know what you could possibly have to teach me. Don't worry, Zichun. This is the one thing I think I'm pretty good at. My lesson for Shichun and Sinclair is... In clear, neat handwriting, Honglu wrote Surviving Hongyuan on the chalkboard. Yeah, that's accurate. Entirely accurate. Like, no, that's entirely accurate. Yep, very good, very good. Oh well, I don't think I need any help in that department from you. Look, I know you've had your share of assassination attempts, big bro. But Jiamu, I mean the previous Hierarch, and the Elder's favorites sheltered you. You're from the worst of it. No. I think he got a lot of them. He's not wrong. Back when we had to fight our way through a bunch of sweepers, weren't you also the one of the handful who got assassinated? Oh, that, I was wandering the hallways because I felt like something was off about my room. Until Dante told us all to go back to our rooms, of course. I'm not surprised. Wait, it was my fault? You do have some intuition, I'll give you that. Looks like I'm going to have to prove myself. Dayu, would you mind preparing the thing? You have my utmost faith. But please, do practice caution. Sometime later, Lin Dayu appeared with 4 bowls splished with tea, each sprinkled before sprinkling some powder into one of them. What's that? That's powdered wolfsbane. I see where this is going. You're going to teach me how to tell which of these bowls contains poison, right? You can stop now. I recognize infamous poisons like wolfsbane when I was 7. 1 second, taking a sip of water. If it was something as tame as what you are suggesting, Venerable Hierarch, I would not have been here to accompany him. Lin Daiyu continued her process, sprinkling wolfsbane powder into 2 metal bowls. Hong Lu, who was watching with an oddly content expression, closed his eyes. Please mix them, Daiyu. Okay, wait, what? We stared in confusion, but we could hardly tell what was going on with the speed at which Miss Daiyu swapped around the bowls. When we looked back at Hong Lu, there were 3 silver spoons in his hand. Those silver spoons were custom made at Dongyang's request. A must-have item for children of the 4 great houses. They can detect non-sulfuric poison as well. Yeah, I know that. They're actually... Actually what? It's nothing. In Hongyang, where we are beset by threats of assassination from all directions, knowledge alone isn't enough to save you. What the heck are you? But Hong Lu opens his eyes before Li Shichun can finish her sentence. Then he throws the silver spoons in his hand like throwing pins towards 3 of the bowls, and immediately chugs the 4th bowl, which he hadn't thrown a spoon at. Holy crap, are you insane? You barely even checked them for... Well, on the one hand, yes, this is crazy. On the other hand, well... we have Dante here, so even if you got it wrong, it's no problem. Ziren's newer tea is also delicious, even when cooled. 3 silver spoons Hong Lu had cast earlier were slowly melting away after quickly becoming tarnished black. Is wolfsbane poison supposed to melt through metal? Yeah, even more than just, I'm a mortal bitch too. People like to be thorough with their poisons in Dongyang. Since everybody's been trained for immunity since childhood, you have to make a mixture of various poisons to have a real effect. Fine, I don't even want to argue. What's your secret? I want to know too. Do they sound different or something? I just went with my hunch. Not surprised. Just a hunch? How are you supposed to learn that? We're not Heathcliff, you know. You'll get the hang of it after a few tries. I'll help you out. Shall we begin with 2 bowls? Yeah, everyone has been trained into resistance to basic everything is just a fact of life. Which is why if you want to actually kill someone with poisons, you shouldn't go for poisons. You should go for a more exotic method. You managed to tell the difference between 2 bowls by reading Hong Lu and Daiyu's subtle tells. So that includes... Darn it, I went up below, so that went too low. I see. When you say just avoid whatever felt wrong with a hunch, you were reflexively identifying the threat by reading the room and connecting it to your intuitive experiences. So I'm going to have to raise their morale up a bit more, okay? Aha! You were using Miss Daiyu's anxious breathing to clue you in. So this is how you managed to survive for so long. Listen carefully, Zichun. I know that the adepts of each Heishao will come to your aid with a flick of your wrist. And I know that your residence, Liangxi Wu, will be engineered by the best craftsmen to become a safe fortress stocked to the brim with all kinds of useful boluses to protect your life. Even still, there will come a day when you start to feel this creeping sensation whose origin you can't identify. And when it does, I hope you won't brush off that sensation as nothing. Because lots of these instincts and sensations are our bodies basically saying, our subconscious picks up on something our conscious mind missed. You're worrying over nothing. Shichun whipped around away from Honglu as if to express dissatisfaction, but her softened expression told me that she was glad to see him worried. Yep, you might be a bit tsundere about it, but she loves her brother, and she likes that he cares about her. Now Don Quixote get their morale back up. And Gregor giving his war stories. Okay, I'm doing very good for Ren. I need more Yang and Ji. Every 6 days, you will be subjected to midterms, prepared by the board of directors. Jia Yuan Chun. A palanquin has been prepared to take you to the exam site, and only by passing the tests may Jia Shichun retain her status as the family hierarch. My lady. Oh, don't worry yourself over much. Master Wei. You sound like you're at a funeral. She will pass these tests with ease, as long as she has been diligently taking her classes. No, it's I simply hope I can survive until she returns. Cough. Yeah, paperwork does that. It seemed that Wei's rather funeral voice wasn't just out of concern for Shichun. Wait, are you sure you're okay? I can't escape them, even in my dreams, the unfinished bundles of paperwork cascading over me like a storm, burying me. Seal yourself, for that was no dream at all. In fact, never have I once seen paperwork trained in the arts of airwalking until now. Ah, yes. The paperwork, the Banes. I must be severely sleep deprived. Looks like we're not the only ones going through the ringer. Now, let's cap this lesson off with the midterm. Also, so we can confirm that this works, this combo works, but so we know that Gregor, Don Quixote, and Hong Lu don't have any synergies. So I have to make some more adjustments and figure these out. Let's go to the midterm. This is a good cap point for the stream. Hey, you're one of the she boys. Mister, we cannot remember his name. We finally meet. I had hoped to fight you in the family hierarch war. If you'd run into me then... Isn't this supposed to be a sparring match? Why does it sound like you have a personal grudge against me? He's just a sore loser because no one remembers his name. No. Oh, it's nothing. Nothing at all. Why in the world would I ever hold a grudge against you? The results of the family hierarch war couldn't be any clearer. Everyone even remotely connected to the mess has all been dragged away and put under investigation. And hey, guess what? They dragged away half of my family, which means more room for me. I should really thank you, right? Honestly, why don't you just declare war against the Shi family at this point? Wouldn't that be much easier? War's not easy. It never is. Taking those lessons from Gregor to heart, it seems. Good. What are you on about all of a sudden? It's not something we should be talking so lightly about, even as a joke. War is hell. Your family was arrested because they are under investigation for treason against Dong Yan. If they're innocent, I'm sure they'll be released soon enough. Tisk. I know it's pretty much a given that they'll all be ruled as guilty, regardless of what happened. You know I can't even pay them a visit because you've hidden their cells all over Hongyan. They're not hidden. All holding cells within Hongyan have always been designed to move around in very short intervals. You know, that does seem like the kind of design that would lead people to make some unfortunate assumptions, though I'm sure the initial purpose was to prevent escapes. Well, yeah. I recently gained a better understanding of Hongyang's structure, so I'm planning to change our policies so that prisoners still on trial are allowed to have fixed locations. Really? Where do you... I was lucky enough to take a few excellent classes recently. Oh wow, this is actually working out. Managed to reflect upon myself a bit too. Huh. You did change a little. Still, you better not expect me to go easy on you. I've got my own things to take care of. Good. Come on, let's do this. Many illustrious fixers of the past have said that naught but disparagement awaits unjust victories. Something tells me this is actually working. This is actually working. And, okay, so she's dominating. Begin! Hua, hua, hua! Waka! Dominating, perfect. Get, and begin. Oh, oh, yeah! Oh, da, da, da! Wah! Ya, xiao! Oh, ga, la! Okay, good. So, favored, dominating. Okay, still good. Oi da, mo, cha, fa. Opa. Ya, fa. Ola. Ika. O, pa, pa. And begin. Opa. Da. La, team. I'm just making sound effects right now. But Shichun is doing pretty well. Help herself. Okay, good. And she's gaining momentum and poise. That's good, and he's losing momentum. Okay, he's going to use that to try and get some back, and go. And now this is going to get him staggered. And that's our victory. Good job. I like looking at the hair swish. Good for you, you won. Now stop giving me that look and get out of here. You lost most of your clan during the family hierarch war, didn't you? Yeah, so what? Are you calling me a penniless loser? Yeah. You little... And I'm sure that's what I look like to you, too. I don't want your every clan member who died in the evaluation to have died for nothing. If I show weakness, that means I'm making everyone who participated in the evaluation look weak. So I'm going to win, and I'm going to win without the fertile soil my predecessors have left behind, because their legacy was unjustly nourished by the blood and tears of Hongyang itself. Shi Huaizhen, and you are tenacious, determined, and strong-willed. That must be why everyone stood by you, down to the last man. You knew my name, ma'am? I didn't. I do. So, what do you think? Want to make them sing your name in glory for the remaining history of Hongyang? Winning him over. Winning one. And that's a success one. Now, I would love to continue, but it is late on my end. Well, that's unfortunate. Mill over on YouTube just said hello, and that is unfortunate. I'm actually ending the stream soon. But you're going to catch at least one fun thing. I'm going to do one final gacha roll. See if I get lucky, especially since the bad luck charm of Magscab is no longer here. Don't worry. But first, let's collect our achievement rewards. And so, finish the first midterm. So I'm going to still have to get... Oh, so one more day to get good mood. So that's good. So let's do a gacha roll to finish this off. So, as I like to say, oh, mama. Let's see, what's a good one? Horse. What's a good horse? Well, it's honestly maybe. Here's a good one. Horse. Why am I not surprised there? What can you do? Oh well. Well. For shame. Still, on that note, I think we've hit a good time to finish off. My voice is starting to kill me. It is very late and I need to get some sleep. So I'm going to be doing another stream tomorrow where we continue this. Yes, thanks for coming. Hope everyone likes the new model. And in general, I look forward to seeing all of you in the future. My goal is to reach the coveted, well, maybe not quite coveted, but I want to eventually reach affiliate status on Twitch, so that way I can actually get money from this. Still, hopefully it goes well. So until next time, everyone, bye bye.